Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the What's Running You podcast. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy to be here. Today, we are going to talk about something that I'm not good at all, but I'm trying to get better. And that is taking criticism. You know, in the book, I talk about as you become the entrepreneur of your life, not everybody's going to love you. Sometimes it's easier, like, even though you're trying to live from a place of love, and that's such a big part of it as you get in the book. But you also kind of start standing up for certain things, or maybe not following the crowd as much, or, inherent in becoming an entrepreneur is you kind of, taking back things that other people may be doing for you, or just standing up for things. So you do get some pushback, I've found, and it can be really tricky. I had something recently where two people that I went up just really were not kind to me, and were upset at me. I mean, I shouldn't say they weren't kind. They were upset at me, and I tried to talk to both of them. One of them wouldn't talk to me, and the other one kind of just said some stuff that I didn't really understand, or I understood, but it wouldn't let me explain, or whatever. And that was weird because it's not weird. It's uncomfortable for me because, to be honest, like, I'm a guy who, and this is not good. I'm not saying this to brag or something. Like, I generally have really gotten along with people in my life. Like, I don't come to people with like an aggressive energy, and I really like to get along with people. I'm pretty easygoing. So I haven't had a lot of those, but I've had a few in the last couple of years where it's been like uncomfortable for me and made me grow, and just, and just weird, and just so weird. And a couple of thoughts on this. And all these are generalizations, but I think they're helpful for me, and maybe help for you. One, people want to believe the story they want to believe. Sometimes more than the truth. Like, they just want, not sometimes, typically. Like, if they have a version of a story that they've kind of grabbed onto, they want to believe that, especially if they may have some stuff against you or something. They want to believe certain things about you, and they'll hold on to those, and it's tricky. And something that's especially like when you go out to talk to these people, and they don't want to hear maybe your side, or what's going on with that. Like, to me, that's like, okay, well, you don't want to talk about it or hear other points of view. You have your story, you want to stick to it, and that's fine. And I just say to myself, and this is something my wife and I talked about a couple of years ago. It's like, and I'm not trying to be holier than thou or something. It just helps me. It's like, God knows the truth. I know the truth. And that's it, and I can't worry about it. Like, I went out to them, I have a whole thing in the book about crumbs. Like, I went to talk to them, and now it's their crumb. It's not my crumb anymore. I can only do so much. And I think that is something that's been helpful for me. It's just, we got to do it. We got to kind of move on and do the best we can. But it can be really hard. It can be really hard to do that. And a friend of mine actually says, man, religion just keeps coming up in this podcast, but I guess that's because life is spiritual in some sense, But he always says, I'm going to let God and that person work that out. And that's a helpful thing for me too. It's like, I can't do anything about that. I tried to talk to them. I'm going to let God and them work that out in their own time, and however long it takes them or whatever. Next thing, God, and this is worth your 5 minutes watching this, but a quote that has been so helpful for me, maybe more than any other quote. I'm sure I've got other ones I could put, but this one does come back to me, especially in times like this. Man, it's so brilliant. And it's by Clemson coach Dabo Swinney, who is an Alabama fan. I got some great Saban ones in there too. Saban's amazing, but this one from Dabo Swinney just like is amazing. It's like, don't worry about criticisms from people whose advice you wouldn't seek. Don't worry about criticism from people whose advice you wouldn't seek. Man, that's so good. And it usually is, if someone's acting like that, you wouldn't seek their advice. So it's just been a super helpful quote for me to be like, because I'm not one of those people. Like, in this book, like, we have a board of directors, we have a chairman and all that. So I'm not one of those people who, like, I don't care about what anybody else thinks about me. I always feel like that's kind of armor. But you should be very selective about the people, advice you take, and who you seek, what they think about you. You should have those people, but they should also just be careful with that. Don't randomly just give that out to anybody. So know whose advice, so seek advice, seek counsel, and be clear about who deserves that right and not in some extent. And then another thing that's helpful is the man in the arena thing. I think Brene Brown talked about it, Teddy Roosevelt, like you're in the arena, like if you're standing up for certain things and that's what this is about, or believing in certain things and you're putting yourself out there. Like even this podcast, people could get online, I'm sure they will, and be like this, whatever. It's like, you have to be okay with being the one in the arena, and it's tricky. And being the entrepreneur of your life puts you in the arena more. So that is just one of the things about it. And the last thing I was going to talk about is something I heard Matthew McConaughey, a bunch of McConaughey things here. The crumbs idea was originally something I heard McConaughey say. Well, I just like the way he framed it. Obviously getting rid of crumbs in your life can be general, but I love that kind of image he had for it. And this one is something I heard him say, and I come back to it a lot, kind of like the Sweeney quote, is being a good man versus a nice guy. And a nice guy, I feel like a lot of my life I've been a nice guy. There's nothing wrong with being a nice guy until there is. And I think it's more important to be a good man and stand up for what you believe in. And a nice guy can go through life easier in a lot of ways, but maybe not ultimately, but a little bit easier. And I'm not saying to be a jerk or anything like that, but there's been a lot of times where I've been a nice guy, and I'm trying more and more, and I am becoming more and more a good man. And that can be harder, it can be more difficult. So it's important to do that, and have boundaries, just be as loving, as kind as you can, but also like, this is not okay. And just having boundaries about it and standing up for people less fortunate and less, standing up for what you believe is right. And always checking yourself too. It's like, I don't have all the answers. So always checking your own motives and things and looking for the truth and seeking, forgiveness where you need it. And, but yeah, I think that is what those things have been helpful for me. But it's a hard journey. Like, this is not, I don't like when people don't like me. It is a learning curve, but we are here practicing to be the entrepreneur of our lives. So that's part of it, is, dealing with criticism, being a good man, good woman, being in the arena, and choosing wisely whose thoughts and opinions about you listen to. So I think those are super helpful. So those have been helpful for me. So yeah, thank you for listening. Yeah, this is a tough one for me, man. I am like, I wish it was easier for me, but it's not. But those are the things that, some of the areas where you grow the most muscle in, is where it's hard for you. So let's keep plugging away. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And again, if you haven't checked out the book, it's there. All right.